Okay, well, it is mid-October and Thanksgiving is over, and I normally do this video at the beginning of October, so I'm sorry I'm a little bit late, but of course you're dying to know what's going on in the real estate market. So I wanted to start with really just giving you kind of the overall view of what I'm seeing, and then we're going to drill down into some of the numbers here in a moment in this video. But we've noticed as we're coming into the fall, we've continued to see higher than normal levels of inventory, and we're seeing obviously sales volumes that are lower than last year. And I'm getting feedback from people all the time, well, it's a buyer's market, things have really slowed down. And I just want to clear the air. We haven't really slowed right down to a halt here. Yes, we're seeing lower sales volume, but relatively speaking, it's still not a bad market. Now, let's just focus a little bit on my impressions of why we're seeing a little bit more of a slowdown. You know, this year, it's been a bit of an interesting year coming into this year. We had an election, federal election. We had a new president in the United States. We've continually been in talks with them on tariffs. It's created definitely some, some feelings by some that we're not really sure where things are going. So markets generally don't like uncertainty. But here's the silver lining in all of this. I think more and more people are starting to realize that life is going to go on, whether we make a deal with the US on some of these tariffs, but our economy is still humming along. And I'm great, or I'm very happy to see that the interest rates have started to come down. And I just spoke to our representative from RBC, and he's very in tune with the what's going on in the interest rate world. And he's pretty convinced we're going to see two more drops by January. So our government understands the importance of real estate in all of Canada, certainly right here in Calgary. We need a healthy real estate market. And some people have been walking around saying we're going to see, a 20% drop in prices. I don't think that's going to happen, especially when the average person living in Calgary who's bought in the last 5 years doesn't even have that kind of equity. So you can't sell a property for 20% drop if you don't have the equity. And add that to the fact that interest rates are dropping, and I think you're going to see more buyers coming into the market. So rather than sitting around and waiting for prices to keep coming down, which I'm not saying they won't, there still might be a little bit more of a correction here before this is done, but take a look at the opportunities that exist. And please, you need to factor in the interest rates in the equation. So many people get focused on price. They don't think about interest rates. I've seen people pay higher interest rates with a lower price, and that's still more money out of their pocket every single month, paying a little more and having a lower interest rate. So you want to understand the math. And if you want a little help with that, all you have to do is reach out to me and I'll walk you through it so you really understand it. I've worked with a lot of people in the mortgage world to understand what you should do on making decisions on timing and definitely looking at interest rates.